Before the world sees numbers, we see people, makers, dreamers, builders. From the busy streets of Nairobi to the fertile fields of Kitale, Kenya is alive with entrepreneurial spirit. But too often, this spirit is left to struggle alone, underfunded, overlooked, and underestimated. Youth unemployment in Kenya sits at 12%, one of the highest in Africa. For millions of young people, formal jobs simply do not exist. So, entrepreneurship isn't just ambition here, it is survival. That is why over 80% of jobs are in the informal sector, created by hustlers, makers, and dreamers trying to carve out a living. But most of these businesses never make it past their third year. Not for lack of vision, not for lack of effort, but because they lack the capital, the coaching, and the community needed to grow with strength and sustainability.
Before we began this business in 2020, we kept asking ourselves, where will this money come from? Where will this money come from? Because we knew it was a lot of money. And I told Daniel, you know what? Let us pray.
At that time, we're just starting to build a company. We do not have any banking history as a business. Yeah, so we cannot go to the bank and say, hey, give us a loan. We tried, but then they'd say, oh, you're not even 6 months old yet. At least get to a year, have your books in order, then come back to us. It was not easy when we were starting.
By the time you raise funds, you're probably going to be talking to like 100 investors, right? You learn to get a lot of rejections, right? You grow a thick skin.
I think one of the things we face as Kenyan entrepreneurs is we don't know how to speak the language of investors. It's not really something that's taught in Kenya. So you may apply for investment, but because you're not speaking the same language, it's difficult to get it.
At Core Ventures, we believe business can be more than survival. It can be redemptive. Our 3C model offers entrepreneurs capital that is patient, flexible, and aligned with purpose. Coaching that is practical, personal, and rooted in real-world experience. Community that is authentic, faith-driven, and restorative. At the very center is faith. Faith that profit and purpose can walk hand in hand. Faith that entrepreneurs can build businesses that glorify God while transforming the communities they serve.
As a Christian business owner, it's very important for us that we incorporate our Christian values in our business. And the first praise is to declare to our staff that we are running this business as Christians and we are following Christian principles. We want to run this business in a way that it glorifies the name of God, for He is the one who enables us to create wealth.
Kua Ventures exists to invest in founders that are often overlooked. We deploy capital to help inspiring founders to grow small businesses. And so what we've done historically for a long period of time is to try to unleash the power of entrepreneurship by supporting small businesses.
In just 5 years, Core Ventures has partnered with 26 businesses across Kenya. Together, these businesses have created and sustained more than 600 jobs. Not just jobs, livelihoods. Livelihoods that put food on the table, send children to school, and restore dignity through work. This is more than capital invested. This is hope multiplied. This is communities rising. This is the beginning of a redemptive economy.
Today we're currently about 30 people, and I'm proud to say we are 85% women, and young women at that. For us to have built that, and I'm obviously proud to have built an organization that's majority women. I consider us a women-run business, right?
When we grow, it's not like we're growing some random huge factory in another country and we're importing. No, we're growing people. So as our team grows, for example, our in-house workshop began with 2 fundis and now we're about 13. That's physical. You can see the physical impact on people's lives. Those are 13 livelihoods that are affected because everyone there has a family, right? So for me, that's so fulfilling because I'm physically seeing the impact of Savannah Space.
Our model, we look at not just providing capital to support the business, but the services that we provide are essentially focused on how are we wholly supporting the entrepreneur to equip them to be redemptive leaders, but also how are we supporting the business so that that is thriving through its practices and processes, but then also the employees, and how are we ultimately ensuring that these businesses are creating a workplace where employees can thrive.
We have got 14 staff, and how we have seen them grow is that a number of them came as single people, but today they are married, they have got children, and basically their lives are stable because they have got an income that is coming from Flexographics Limited.
I think it's a more holistic support model because the entrepreneur journey is not just about, I've gotten the funding, now I'm going to grow into the future, or there's so many things that go into supporting an entrepreneur, because even after they get some kind of help to fix their structures and systems, or they get financing, when they grow to the next level, they open themselves up to a whole new set of challenges. So you'll find that the journey of entrepreneurship always has its sets of challenges. And so having a community to walk that journey with is always very helpful. Sometimes the support you need is just moral support, or just to be in a space where you hear stories similar to yourself, to know that you're not alone, or to hear about somebody who's gone before you and had a similar problem and how they solved it.
If you really want to create a long-term sustainable solution to eradicating poverty and to bring prosperity and opportunity to all people, the only long-term solution is to invest in small businesses. And so we've seen over the past 5 years that investing in local leaders that are driven by their faith and have a redemptive worldview, that are actively trying to solve the world's biggest problems, is the most exciting, but also the most obvious way to actually create durable solutions to eradicating poverty. I think one thing we've noticed is that faith-driven entrepreneurs have an enormous influence on the society that they are involved in. And so by walking alongside these leaders, there's an incredible opportunity to ensure that they have the support system to be able to walk that journey, but to create a long-term small business that can become a lifeline for the community that they're in.